Typical Nigerian, and you are clapping. That's why politicians get away with anything. They get away with murder because you have short memory. Short memory. None of you here seated can defend the votes. If you have complained, Nigerians have been clapping for you. The only way Shekarau became president, governor, do you know what? Do you know how? Because people lined up. When they ask how many people are there, they say over 500,000. No, I won't give 500,000. Announce Shekarau. It's happened in Ghana.
Hello, I hope you're well when you get to watch this. And I initially wanted to do a video of this in this particular podcast. Um, but I had to pause because I was a bit unwell, as you can hear from my voice, and but just started feeling a bit better. So I thought to you know, use this video to talk about and emphasize the points I've been making from the video's previous podcast where I mentioned 2027. And the very first step of us making sure 2027 is as what we want it to be is for certain, um, making it personal. And I thought that was the first step because if you want to get out the vote, first thing you need to do is make sure that you make the vote personal. You make if you're canvassing for people to make a change, it has to be personal to you. And if you want Nigeria to get better, it has to be personal to you. And that's where my point is. I want it to be personal. I want it to be personal to you. I want it to be personal to me. And having gone through that first one, that first step, the next step is how do we make it easy for the market woman who cannot read and write? Because she's also suffering the consequences of bad governance. How do we make it for the shoemaker who cannot read and write? If that's your mother, if that's your father, how do you help them? Get them to where they need to register to get the PVCs. These are the kind of questions we want to help you with. Now, but I think for me, my reaction to these um, comments that Amechi made during this gathering um, is looking at the content of the comment and taking out the emotions of it. Because when I say emotions, I mean the anger that we look at it and say that these ones that help ruin Nigeria. What has it got to offer? What it's got to offer is telling us the truth of what they've been doing for so many years and now they've helped us ruin Nigeria. Okay? Our politicians, I mean, help ruin Nigerians. So, for example, in the first set of the few minutes of what you've just watched here, he mentioned that our first few seconds here, he said, how Shekarau won election. He said, how many people were gathering? He said, over 500,000. He says, well, I won't kill 500,000 people. Please announce Shekarau. That's how Shekarau became governor. Now, I didn't know that. I don't think 99% of the people that will watch this video ever knew that. But what really matters here right now is that somebody's telling us that we need to ensure that 2027 we don't follow the same process as we followed before, where they buy our votes and then why they send touts to come around where we're voting and destroy and steal away voting booths and voting materials and destroy voting papers as well or ballots. Why we need to form guard when we go to our voting centers. Ensure that when they come with the machetes and the knives or whatever, we're there to fight. I mean, I think I remember, I think it was Chioma Akpota, one of the Nollywood actresses, showed video of how they tried to defend their polling booth, but they needed more help. And what help we will need in our various polling booths is we need to come out en masse so that we don't get disenfranchised. And the problem with disenfranchisement is that it just doesn't happen on that day of the election. It happens for the period of that reign of that particular governor, senator, president. Because they disenfranchise you for one day, but they ruin the nation for 4 years and make it difficult for you. Where they put in policies that doesn't favor the people but themselves. That's why I'm saying to you, when you listen to the or when you're watching this is not, a sensational kind of podcast. It's one where we're having to have chats about how to move Nigeria forward. Let's make efforts and fail if we have to. But let's start making sure that we have the rights of the political people and leaders come around. I mean, from the time I started talking about getting the rights of the people into politics, I've noticed a lot of people have started coming to talk about it right now, which is good. So that means that a lot of people are listening. A lot of people are listening to what I'm saying. And I want you to be one of those. I want you to subscribe, like, and share, and make sure you comment as well. Ask people what they think. Let's have a chat on the comment section. How do we do it? Is it going to be easy? How do we start to take one person? I mean, if it's only one person that watches this at the end of the day and then makes an effort to help another person get their PVC, that's a success for me. Because we have to reach our word one person at a time. Is that not the case?
Before the election of the last president, 2 days, a lot of us were called to intervene. But why did they do that? The people were ready to die. You were talking, abusing everybody. Nobody has power and will give it to you. Nobody, not even me.
That's the idea behind our politicians here. No one has power. I mean, remember what Tinubu said the last time in that gathering like this when he was having this chat with his people, and he said, "Go get it by force, every means possible. Run with it, steal it, run with it. Everything means possible." Our politicians don't see political service by political office as public service where they help serve the people. They see where they rain terror on the people. You have a comment that is different to what the governors or the presidents want. They count you as one of those with dissenting voices and they don't want it. In every other country, Western world, where our politicians actually steal our money and go invest them in and hide the money in every other country, people can say things and criticize the government. And they know there's nothing going to happen because it's free speech. But in our own country, when we have dissenting voices against our government, when we demand for representation from our leaders, we get is crucifixion. We don't want that. We want people who are accountable, who know that when you come to serve in public offices, you have public scrutiny because you've now put yourself out to be scrutinized by the public if you don't do well. For example, when the last president of the United States was there, Joe Biden, he was criticized by every single person. We didn't see the Attorney General of the Federation filing lawsuits or the Defense Secretary saying that somebody will be jailed. In the comment just made by Amaechi, we've seen someone from the government have said that it could be, arrested for that. It's not shocking to see that across the world, free speech is actually being, trampled upon by default, by intention, because we're not allowed to have opinion that is different on what what the government wants to put out. In the United Kingdom, for example, you can see how people criticize the current Prime Minister Keir Starmer, even from oppositions. They have their Prime Minister question time, and the same Kebi Bani that the Nigerians are actually angry about. I mean, I'm not one of the biggest fan anyway, but they have a back and forth with the current Prime Minister, and everyone still know that it's about getting the nation right. But in our own nation, Nigeria, you say something that is different, you're threatened. Take, for example, Rufai Husseini of Rise TV. He says something, somebody threatens him on radio. The other day, Obita Obi said something that someone didn't like. What's his name? Felix Morka. And used some kind of threatening words until people came out and then criticized him and he came back and said he didn't mean it that way. That's not what he meant to say.
If you want a pastor as president, can get one. The politician is there in Nigeria to steal, to maim, to kill, to remain in power.
It's really fascinating. That's why I said I didn't want to react like most people were reacting and say, Peter, Amechi said this. I wanted to look at and listen carefully to what he was saying and then break down that to you so that when you hear that and you go back and replay this video, what Amechi said, it starts to make sense. One of the sense I was trying to say initially was this. Amechi said, our politicians are there to kill, steal, destroy to remain in power. Those are the characteristics of the devil. You're a Christian. He comes to kill, destroy, maim, and cause havoc. And that's what our politicians have done in Nigeria for so many years. I mean, across Africa anyway. They seize power, they kill, they destroy just to remain in power. Not to serve, but to be served. There's a difference. When you come to serve people, you're accountable to them. When you are to be served, they're accountable to you. Nigerians don't want that anymore. We don't want to serve our presidents. We vote them in. We want to ones that we vote in that will come and serve, not the ones that feel like we have to serve them, such that they can steal elections. They say to you, go to court, and you go to court. We know they've already bribed the judges. That's why our judicial system is so corrupt. And what happens next? Boom. Our judicial system says nothing there to see. Go away. You wonder why the actions of our politicians can be likened to devilish actions. There's no other way to describe it. It says the politician is there to kill, steal, destroy just to remain in power. That's the actions of a devil. So the actions of our politicians have been to steal for so long, to kill for so long, they destroy for so long, and they remain in power. Our politicians destroy people's houses that have dissenting voices. It's happened across the entire nation. Our politicians steal from our people and they run away with the money into the West. They plunder the nation and they go to the West to go and invest this money. Guess what? That's stealing. They'd kill because that money that's been stolen could have been used to build schools, hospital, social housing for our people. But guess what? When there's an accident, the person gets rushed to the hospital and the right equipment and there. The person dies. That's killing, that's destroying. When there's an accident, because of the money that was that been used to fix the road is stolen, our politicians are killing. So don't think that, oh, they're just stealing now, you're tired, they can just continue to steal. You and I travel on those roads. What do you think is currently happening? Journeys that should take 20 minutes take 45, 1 hour, sometimes 2 hours. Why? Because of bad roads. Interstate journeys take what, nine, sometimes journey that should be 4 hours take 9 hours. Why? Because they're bad roads. And you know what? Of course, and this is our time. We've not learned to understand the value of our time and our money. To understand the value of our time, you have to realize every time that politicians serve as your lawmaker, representing you in the House of Assembly, nation, federal wise, that's your time. Is you're paying him to stay and delegate and make laws that will favor your constituent, your constituency, and you being his constituent, to help make laws that will favor investment and growth in your constituency, where you belong as his constituent. So every time he's there, he's representing you because you employed him to be paid by the nation for representing you. So, but when the wrong set of people get in, they look out for their pocket. That's why a sitting lawmaker like Alex Ikweche and tell somebody will make the person disappear, nothing will happen. Exactly what Mechi said. We allow politicians to get away with murder.
If you think Tinubu will give it to you, you are wasting your time. So when we speak, we forget history. Unfortunately for me, poverty has made me to be part of the political system from when I left university. I left university 1987 and I've been part of the process till today.
That's the thing with most of our politicians, if not all of them. It's not about service. Our politicians didn't go into politics to service you and me, to serve as our, representative. They went into politics to actually steal. As a result of what? Poverty. As a result of their own nature, personal aggrandizement. It's what our politicians have been doing for so long. So again, like I said, if it's just one of you that watches this time, I'm fine with that. But I want that one person to have conversations. These are serious conversations. We have serious work on our hands. If you and I start talking about this, now, for example, I'm the one making this comment, making this podcast today, and I'm sharing that with you across Lagos, Calabar, Abuja, nationwide, for across to the United States, United Kingdom, to those people in Germany and across the entire world. That you can converse with your brothers and your sisters, like also in Lagos, to say, hey, how do we fix this nation again? We had to go in 2023. We see what could possibly happen. We give it another shot. And this time we have time. And for those of you who are kind of feeling that and you're still feeling deflated from the amount of rigging that happened in 2023, so it's time to pick ourselves up as well again. You try the first time, it doesn't work, you go back again. You know what? Yeah, because our politicians, as criminals they are, they're not letting up. They've already started their evil plans to rig the election next time. And they put in the people that they need to put in place to help them steal the election. So you and I have to know that there's only one option we have: come out en masse. And we have to start the canvassing now, which is what this podcast is all about. We deal with social issues here, economic issues here, political issues here. At the moment, we're talking about political issues, but there's a lot of social issues we need to start talking about in our nation as well. That will help us get there. That's what we want.
You can't wish me away in the formation of APC. You certainly can't wish me away. You can't wish me away in how APC won election. You can't. But the truth is that if some of us did not stick at our neck, say, PDP, good luck, we want to die with you. When they saw that we were ready to die, what did they do? They gave up power.
That's what we need to do. We need to come out en masse. I'm not saying go and die for Amaechi or PDP. I'm saying that we need to come out en masse. See, when people did when the NSAS protest happened a couple of years back, it shook them, and that's why they came out with that amount of force they did. We have to do that together. And this time, 2027, during the election, we got to come out en masse. The current crop of politicians we have, all the way to the bottom, are not fit for purpose. You can check out the policies they've been enacting; they're just not working. Our nation is in a free fall. We have the largest number of people in Africa. We're still not the largest economy. Make that make sense to me, because that math is not mathing. It's not mathing because we don't have the right mathematicians managing the economy. We don't have the right administrators as our presidents, our governors, our senators. Our senators have become contractors. The other day, there was allegations on the newspaper saying that our senators were asking for 480 million from university to pass their budget. Lets you understand the level of criminality that's happening and that's actually happening. We need to have the right people in. We need to start seeing them. This is why I'm saying to Peter Obi and to Showore and Obi Dati, listen, this Nigeria is bigger than anyone's ego or anyone's desire. This Nigeria is for every single one of us. And you guys are at the forefront of the battlefield. And that's why we're doing all of these to actually make sure that we give you the support that you desire. But you have to have yourself in a room, get yourself in a place where you can iron out the differences, opinions that you have, and see how we can work our way through 2027. Because a united Obi, and Babadati Hamed and Showore and the like minds like that, like the Daily Faratimis and Aisha Yusufs of this world, coming together and gravity and having massive canvassing across Nigeria as a whole up until 2027 will make a whole lot of difference. But what our political elite expect is that we will still be divided. Remember, they said Labour Party didn't have the infrastructure, which was infrastructure for rigging. But guess what? Obi came third according to INEC's numbers as they describe different numbers to different parties on their own. It's still a magic anyway. So we are the infrastructure, the people are the infrastructure. Obi did not pay us to come out and campaign for him. We went en masse, contributed en masse. But we still want to make sure that these parties are formed, or this, you know, coming together is done early, so we can then start to look at the candidates that we don't want those candidates from those other parties. Please, Peter B. This idea of everyone is welcome is just not nonsense, because that's how APs have actually, gotten their hands into different parties and tried to ruin them from within. You don't want the likes of Dele Okupe anymore because he speaks on both sides of his mouth. You don't want that. We want people who are judicious, people as well who are accountable. You have Kenneth Okonkwo that he can represent his own state. I know Aisha Isifu says she doesn't like politics, she doesn't go for service, but that's fine. There's so many of us, many of you guys who are more accountable. Come out in your local government, come out as state senators, come out as local government chairman. We're tired of all of these criminals, who've infested our political system and they've made it so bad. And right now, and that's why one of the main reasons why the nation doesn't work for us is that we have the worst of us ruling the best of us. And what we're going to have is anarchy. Case in point, Edo State. Anarchy all over the place. So I want to say thank you as well for all of those who've been watching and following my content and subscribing and sharing. Like more people to subscribe. So please, if you're meeting this video for the first time or this content for the first time, please like, share, subscribe so that you get new content every time a new one is released. All right. Until the next video, please stay blessed and we will continue to push to make Nigeria a better place. God bless you. Bye for now.